Start now. Omagyan timirandasya kyanangyana salakaya chaksurum militam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manovistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sadvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Visakanditam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanisbari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. So let me read from the 18th chapter of the Krishna book, which is the description of Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada, his main work actually is the Srimad Bhagavatam, and somehow or other he thought that he may not be able to finish the whole Srimad Bhagavatam, the 12 cantos. So at least he wanted to give us the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is like the main summum bonum. This is like Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to the form of the Supreme Lord, and the first and second canto is like the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and then it goes higher and higher, different cantos, and the 10th canto is like the lotus face of Lord Krishna. So he thought he is not able to finish due to his advanced age, and somehow he gave us the Krishna book, which is the summary study of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Vrindavan is such a nice place. Flowers are always blooming there. And there are even various kinds of decorated deer. Birds are chirping. Peacocks are rowing and dancing. And bees are humming. The cuckoos there sing in 5 kinds of tunes. The lakes of Vrindavan are surrounded by green grasses, and various kinds of lotus flowers bloom there, and the air blowing carries the aromatic pollen of those lotus flowers. When the particles of water from the waves of the Yamuna, the lakes and the waterfalls touch the bodies of the inhabitants of Vrindavan, they automatically felt a cooling effect. Therefore, they were practically undisturbed by the summer season. There are many waterfalls which are always pouring water, and the sound is so sweet that it covers the sound of the crickets. And because the water flows all over, the forest looks very green and beautiful. So the kingdom of God is composed of two parts, the material world and the spiritual world. The topmost planet in the spiritual world is called Goloka Vrindavan. And Goloka Vrindavan is compared to a lotus flower. And in the topmost planet, Goloka Vrindavan, this is the abode of Lord Krishna. And along with his eternal associates, he performed unlimited pastimes. The pastimes of the Lord mentions by the acharyas are divided into 8 parts. Asta Kaliya, Lila, 3 hours each. And somehow or other, when Lord Krishna, he performed his pastimes, sometimes just like the Gopas, the Cowherd boys, they feel that they don't want to stop playing, so they just keep on going and going and going. And therefore, the pastimes, which is supposed to be, there is some kind of a limit, but then time expanded. And so time is conspicuous by its absence. That's what it says in the spiritual world. And unlike here in the material world, our time is limited. We have only like 24 hours in a day. But for the Supreme Lord, he can extend it more and more and more and more. So, yes, the spiritual world in Goloka Vrindavan, sometimes it is called Sweatadweep. Also, in the spiritual world, in the Goloka Vrindavan, there is divisions, like there is also Dwarka, there is Mathura, there is Vrindavan, and there is also called Sweatadweep. And I'm sure most of you have read the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, where one part of the Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan, there are pastimes being performed by Krishna and his associates. And then the other part, there is this part where Lord Chaitanya and his associates, they perform their pastimes. That's why he says that Navadvip Dham and Vrindavan Dham, none difference. So what does it mean by Dham? This is a Sanskrit word, and it has several meanings according to the acharyas. It says a dwelling place, a house, abode, and so on. A favorite thing or person, delight or pleasure, or form or appearance, power, strength, majesty, glory, splendor, or light. This is from the purport in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 27, Text 4. So when we refer to Dham, this is a place where the Supreme Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead resides. This is the place where he performed his pastimes. This is the place where he appeared. The appearance of the Lord is not like our appearance or our birth. We appear in this world and transmigrate from different forms or species of life due to our karma. But the Supreme Lord, when he appears specifically, it says in the Bhagavad Gita, to annihilate the demons. Paritranaya sadhunam binasaya chaduskritam dharma samsna panartaya sambabami yuge yuge. From time to time, he comes to annihilate the demons and to protect his devotees. And from time to time also, he comes to reestablish the principles of religion. But mostly, the main purpose why the Supreme Lord appears in this world is to attract the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead, back to the spiritual world where it is our original home. So yes, this place in earthly planet, there's what you call also Vrindavan, which means that in every universe there is a Vrindavan, because the Lord, when he appears, Prabhupada says, when he appears in this world, at the next moment, he will appear again in a different universe. It's like the sun rising and the horizon in a certain place. And the next moment, the sun also will be seen in a different place, in different part of the planet Earth. And in this way, it's continuous. His pastimes are eternal and unlimited. So the Dham is there. And before the Supreme Lord appears, it was like 5,000 years ago, Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna appears once in one day of Lord Brahma. Now, one day of Lord Brahma is 8.4 billion years, because half of the day and night. That means 12 hours. His 12 hours is 4.2 billion years in human calculation. And we're very fortunate somehow. Also, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears once in one day of Lord Brahma. So 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna appeared. And now, 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also manifests himself. However, it says that the Supreme Lord is always in Vrindavan. For that matter, Lord Chaitanya is also always in Navadvip. Lord Krishna never take one step outside of Vrindavan. Now, these different manifestations of the Supreme Lord in different pastimes is like in his earthly planet 5,000 years ago, he went to Mathura at the age of almost 11 years. He performed his pastimes, his childhood and his almost boyhood pastimes in Vrindavan. And at the age of around 10 plus years or more, then he went to Mathura to fulfill that prediction. There was like the omen that during the time of wedding of Devaki and Vasudev, Kamsa was driving the chariot of his sister. And there was this voice in the sky saying that the 8th child of your sister will be the cause of your death. And somehow to fulfill that prophecy, Lord Krishna, in the pretentious of Kamsa inviting Krishna for a wrestling match, so Krishna went. So that Krishna is not Yasodanandana Krishna who went to Mathura, that is Vasudev Krishna. As soon as Krishna stepped outside of Vrindavan, for his pastimes is Lila, along with his elder brother, Lord Balaram, for pastimes. So that's Vasudev Krishna. So when we speak of Vrindavan Dham, this Vrindavan Dham has the same potency, the same features, qualities, paraphernalias of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, Vrindavan, it says that this is an expansion of Lord Balaram's energy. Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Balaram also, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As Prabhupada says, there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. The only difference is their bodily features. Krishna is bluish black in color, like a monsoon cloud or like the tamal tree. And Lord Balaram's color is that of crystal white. But one main difference also between Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram is that Krishna, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead who accepts service. And Lord Balaram, he's a Supreme Personality servitor of Godhead. He is the Supreme Lord himself, but his main purpose of coming is for the pastimes and to assist the Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna, in his pastimes. So the different paraphernalias of the Supreme Lord, like his bed, his dhoti, his slippers, his umbrella, and all those different, even the flute, these are all expansions of Lord Balaram's energy. So Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal Dhamma or abode where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and paraphernalia. And his eternal abode is a manifestation of his internal energy. This is from the Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 3, text 43, purport. So like 2.5 hours away from Delhi, south of Delhi, is what you call Shri Vrindavan Dham. And there is no difference between that Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world and the earthly planet we call Vrindavan as Bodh Vrindavan or Gokul Vrindavan. Lord Krishna appeared in Gokul Vrindavan. That's part of Mahavan, the biggest forest, the largest in space. Of course, you cannot put a measurement in the spiritual world. So even Vrindavan, it says all the tirthas, all the holy places, all the holy reservoir of water, they're all in Vrindavan, in the earthly Vrindavan. So this is transcendental. It's not of this world. And even when the annihilation, at the time of the annihilation, that place still remains the same. It's not touched. This is according to the Shastra, even what you call Madhuvan. Madhuvan. So Vrindavan is a manifestation of Sri Krishna's Swarup Shakti. It cannot be separated from Krishna. When we say Vrindavan, automatically Krishna is there. Vrindavan cannot exist without Krishna, and Krishna cannot exist without Vrindavan. It's not possible to separate both. It's like Balaram is always with Krishna in all these different pastimes, just like Ram, Lakshman is always there with Ram. Same, Balaram is Lakshman, or in the pastimes 500 years ago, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda is there also. There's none difference between Lord Balaram and Lord Nityananda. Brajendranandana ye sachi sutta hoilo se, Balaram hoilo nitai. So that spiritual realm of Vrindavan is always spiritual. It cannot be touched by material energy. And before Lord Krishna came 5,000 years ago, by the internal potency of the Supreme Lord, the Yoga Maya, she arranged all the different arrangements, paraphernalia that's needed for the Supreme Lord to perform his pastimes according to his associates. Just like Prabhupada gave an example, just like before, it's like in a movie before the shooting or before the camera rolls, the prime actor, before he comes, everything is all arranged. Then when he enters, he just have this interaction with the other characters. So yes, this celestial Vrindavan is eternal. Dwarka also, where Krishna performed his pastimes along with 16,108 queens, which they're all expansions of Srimati Radharani. They're all goddesses of fortunes, or Lakshmi Devis in Dwarka, and in Mathura also. These are all eternal. They don't annihilate. At the time of annihilation, they're never destroyed. It's like even if you go to Dwarka right now, part of those places or pastimes of the Supreme Lord, the palaces, You can see underwater in Dwarka, in Gujarat. So it may be located in some kind of geographical location in the earthly planet, where it can be seen by satellite, but it is not. It cannot be touched by mundane elements, by the material energy. So Vrindavan is never destroyed. It's always there. Even though, according to area, it is 168 miles. The area, Brajamandal, exists only for the pleasure of Sri Krishna. So there are unlimited pastimes of the Supreme Lord that he performed in Vrindavan. Prabhupada, he told us, though, that in order to understand and relish these different pastimes of the Supreme Lord, we should understand, try to study, read and study first the Bhagavad Gita, which is like the ABC of spiritual knowledge. Bhagavad Gita means Krishna Tattva, understanding the position of Lord Krishna. How is he God? It's like in the Christian religion, or in other religions also, it says God is great. But how great is God? And we've heard from the Shastras, he is full to the unlimited degree, his beauty, his strength, his renunciation, his fame, his knowledge. And yes, in that way, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So many great personalities performed their pastimes and went to Vrindavan, like Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni, Kapila Muni, Narad Muni. They all did tapasya in Vrindavan. And even during Dwapara Yuga, some demigods like Lord Shiva and Brahma and also Indra, they all came to Vrindavan to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. Whenever the Supreme Lord, 5,000 years ago, he would go to perform his different pastimes, the demigods actually are able to see, and sometimes, not sometimes, all the times, they will shower flowers. This is their appreciation, showing their appreciation and delight seeing the Lord's pastimes. But there are other pastimes where no one can enter and no one can see, especially the Rasa Lila dance of the Supreme Lord, the dance of divine love. Even Lord Shiva, he wanted to see and wanted to join the pastimes of that Rasa Lila, but then Lord Shiva has to change his form. Gopishwar, he changes his bodily form. He had to take bath in Manasa Sarovar, and under the guidance of the gopis, Yogamaya, Gopi, Purnamasi also, she told him how to do it, how to be part of the rasa dance. So before we can relish all of these different pastimes, we mentioned just a little bit of these pastimes of rasa dance, because most of the people, they want to jump immediately into this rasa dance. They think that they are qualified immediately to partake or hear these pastimes, without understanding who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Srila Prabhupada has warned us that we have to be purified first before we can hear this very intricate or intimate pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Here in India, this is like the professional reciters, the kathakars. They can recite the whole Bhagavatam in 7 days, and immediately they would like to jump immediately into this rasa dance without understanding the actual position of the Supreme Lord. So we have been warned by the acharyas. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never discussed this very intimate pastimes of the Supreme Lord. However, there are many pastimes of the Supreme Lord, especially his Balya Lila, his childhood pastimes. The pastimes of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, is divided into three parts. There is Balya, Pauganda, and Kishore. This childhood, boyhood, and youthhood. And the sweetest of them all, the pastimes, which we can very easily relate to, is that childhood pastimes. Right from the early age of Lord Krishna, is very mischievous, very naughty. Same with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sometimes Lord Krishna is called Dusta Mohan. Dusta Mohan means he's very mischievous, but his mischief actually capture your mind. He's charming. His mischief is so charming that it will capture your mind. It's like every day, the gopis, they will, elderly gopis, they will complain to Mother Yasoda. They will complain that your boys, child, this boy Krishna and his brother Balaram, every day they will come to our house and they will perform mischievous acts. They will come break the pots of yogurt and butter where we hang them in a very, very secluded place. We will hide them in secret rooms, but somehow or other they'll be able to find them. So the gopis, the elderly gopis says, why don't you take away their ornaments? Why don't you take away these very, very bright, effulgent ornaments? We think that this is the cause, how they'll be able to find our hidden secret rooms where the butter and the yogurt. But then it says, they said, no, better not. But actually, they have some effulgence coming from their bodies. These two boys are so effulgent that even if you don't take away this very, very brilliant effulgent ornaments like sapphires or diamonds and lapis lazuli and different gems, they still be able to see. And you know what? If they're not able to find our yogurt and butter hanging from the ceiling, they will pinch our children. They will make them cry. And sometimes they even pass water on the floor. So to make make a mess. So, but this is the everyday activities of the Brajabasis. The elderly gopis, they will always go to Mother Yasoda and complain the same thing again and again and again. This is just like an excuse for them to talk about Lord Krishna, Lord Balaram. While they're doing their household chores, sweeping the floor or cleaning the house, they will always be singing the different pastimes of the Supreme Lord. This is what you call Krishna consciousness. They're always hearing every day whatever Krishna would perform, and they will repeat them again and again and again. The elderly gopis, they love Krishna more than their own sons. This is how Krishna is. He is the object of love for the whole of Braj. He's the object of love. Even the cows, they would love to feed Krishna with their milk unlimitedly. And the teenage gopis, they will also want to have Krishna as their husband. So all of this actually has been fulfilled in the Brahma Bimohan Lila. Because in that past times, we were reading that the other day and it's still fresh in my memory. I would like to mention this very special Lila of the Supreme Lord. Um, when the Supreme Lord performed his pastimes, many things has been accomplished all at the same time. You can have 4, 5, 6, 7 different purposes being accomplished by just one pastime. And this pastimes of Brahma Bimohan Lila is from 12, 13, and 14. Prabhupada, in the last moment of his life, he was still dictating Krishna book. He was still dictating the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially the 13th chapter, where Lord Krishna stole or steals the cowherd boys and the calves. See, Lord Brahma, as we mentioned earlier, and other demigods, they would want to see every day what Krishna is doing. What kind of activities? How come he's so popular? What is it that Krishna has that he became so popular with all the Brajavasis? And so one day, Krishna killed this big demon called Aghasura. Aghasura is about 8 miles long. And somehow the children would like to play because it looks like a big tunnel, long tunnel, highway. And it says that his mouth touched the sky, that big, huge. And Krishna knows, yeah, this is a trick of this demon. Actually, this demon is brother of Putana. Putana was the first demon that Krishna killed. So, yes, Aghasura, he thought that he'll be able to suffocate Krishna and the cowherd boys. But somehow or other, Krishna emerged. He went through the body, outside of the body of Aghasura. And Lord Brahma, he saw the soul of Aghasura merge into the body of Lord Krishna. This is the all-merciful nature of the Supreme Lord. When he killed the demons that he killed, they also attained liberation. What to say of the devotees who are earnestly, sincerely, with love and devotion, they serve the Supreme Lord with all their hearts. They attain Krishna Prema, love of God. They attain the supreme abode, the Vaikuntha Loka. And just like Putana also, she became one of the maid servants, motherly, giving service, assisting Mother Yasoda in Goloka Vrindavan. So it says that every day, 2 or 3 demons Krishna will kill before tiffin time. This is their favorite pastimes in the forest. It's like an excuse only for them to go to the forest and take care of the cows. So on that day, Lord Balaram, that is his birthday. So Lord Balaram, he did not go with Lord Krishna and the cowherd boys. And they skipped breakfast. Somehow or other, Mother Yasoda and the other elderly gopis, they all prepared their tiffin or their lunchbox to go to the forest early in the morning. And this time, somehow, Yogamaya actually is always behind Lord Krishna, because whatever Lord Krishna wish, it'll be fulfilled and it'll be arranged by Yogamaya. Yogamaya is an internal potency of the Supreme Lord in the spiritual world. Yogamaya is the energy of the Supreme Lord that prevents the devotees to see Krishna as a Supreme Lord, which makes the relationship between Lord Krishna and the devotees sweeter, and the bond becomes stronger and stronger. The love between the Supreme Lord and his devotees for the devotees not seeing Krishna as God makes them to become more and more attached to the Supreme Lord. Their love increase more and more and more because of this, as Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, there's a thin film that the devotees, associates of the Supreme Lord, not able to see Krishna as the Supreme Lord. Now in the material world, there is what you call Mahamaya. Same energy, but transformed in the material world to prevent the conditioned souls to get out of this material world, to put the conditioned souls into illusion, prevents the conditioned souls to go back home, back to Godhead. Now this Mahamaya, she's a little ashamed of her service to the Supreme Lord. Another name for Mahamaya is Durga, very difficult to penetrate. Mahamaya means illusion, but she's also Vaishnavi, a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord, is doing her duties perfectly, up to the mark. So Brahma, he thought that I want to check who is this Krishna really. But ultimately, the deeper meaning or purpose of wanted to see who is this Krishna is that I want to see more the sweet pastimes of Lord Krishna. Now, he doesn't know that he is the Supreme Lord. So in any case, Yogamaya, now Krishna told Yogamaya to fulfill this desire of Lord Brahma. Now, Lord Brahma, he had this idea to steal the calves and the cowherd boys. Now, during tiffin time, the calves will be tied nearby so that they will not go so far, and it will be difficult for them to be found. But somehow or other, again, Yogamaya, while the cowherd boys and Lord Krishna, they were taking lunch or prasadam, the calves somehow or other they got loosened, and they were so far away now, is beyond the eyesight of the cowherd boys. And everyone who's taking lunch, they think that Krishna is with him or with them. They were thinking that, oh, Krishna is looking at me. This is how it's been arranged. They're playing even during lunchtime. It says that during lunchtime, sometimes one gopa will put a jasmine flower in one of the samosas in the tiffin of one of the cowherd boys, and then they will see how the other gopa will eat a samosa. And because you haven't, maybe some of you did, you must have tasted the jasmine. The jasmine is a little bit bitter, but it has very fragrant scent on jasmine. So when one of the cowherd boy will eat the samosa, his face will be like, he cannot paint because it's too bitter. So the other gopa who put the jasmine flower inside the samosa will laugh, and also the other gopa who ate the samosa with the jasmine flower, he will also laugh, and everyone will be laughing. So now, Lord Brahma, he stole the gopas, and somehow, within 1 second, within a moment, he hid them. And then when he looked back, but he saw they were still there. The gopas, they're still eating. But Lord Krishna is far away now. He went to search for the calves. And somehow, now Brahma became bewildered. See, the nature of the eternal associates, the Nitya Parikars, Nitya Parisads, the eternal associates of the Supreme Lord, they all have the same nature as the Supreme Lord. Spiritual, Chinmaya. This nature of the Supreme Lord is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So Lord Brahma, he's not able, he doesn't know that actually he cannot touch this cowherd boys. These cowherd boys has the same nature as the Supreme Lord. So what happened actually, these expansions of the Supreme Lord, the cowherd boys, the expansions of the cowherd boys, these are arranged by Mahamaya for Lord Brahma, for him to be able to hide them, not Yogamaya. It says that there are three types of cowherd boys in this pastimes. The cowherd boys that Lord Brahma hid because he thought that he'll be able to trick Lord Krishna. Now there's the original cowherd boys who were taking prasadam while Lord Krishna went away. Now Lord Krishna told Yogamaya to cover them up so no one can see them. And this went on for 1 year. They were taking prasad for 1 year. Even Lord Balaram, all the Brajavasis, they're not able to see them. It's covered by Yogamaya. Now, Lord Krishna expanded himself into as many gopas who went home, who for 1 year, they were with the cowherd maidens, the elderly cowherd maidens. Now, Lord Brahma, he was bewildered. He was thinking, oh, who are these personalities here? Actually, for a moment, also he went back to Satyaloka, to his abode. But then it says, the Acharya says that due to Yogamaya potency again, it hid all of those guards of Lord Brahma. They thought that their master, Lord Brahma, is inside of his kingdom or his palace. And somehow when Lord Brahma came, the guards, they thought he's an imposter, Brahma. So they didn't let him in. They did not let him in. He says, no, you must be an imposter, Brahma, because our Lord Brahma is inside. You cannot enter. So Lord Brahma came back, and when he came back, he saw these cowherd boys, the expansion of the Supreme Lord with four-arm form. Bluish black in color, exactly the same, no difference, with Srivatsa, that sign, that silver streak, the silver streak from their chest. Is no difference with Indranil Mani and Kaustuba gem. If you have remember, if you've heard that story of Ajamil, the Yamadutas and the Vishnudutas. Now the Vishnudutas, they don't have that Srivatsa. They look like Lord Vishnu. They look like Lord Narayan, but it says there, Prabhupada says that is the only difference. They don't have that Srivatsa or that strict, that symbol or sign of Lakshmi Devi. So now the desire of the elderly gopis to embrace, because when they see Mother Yasoda embracing Lord Krishna, their thoughts like, oh, we wish we can also embrace Lord Krishna like Mother Yasoda. So for 1 year, now they're wondering, how come our children or our child, our son, became so adorable, so lovable like Lord Krishna, like the same feelings that we have towards Lord Krishna. So they were thinking that, but they never thought that this is Lord Krishna. But actually, that was Lord Krishna. That is Lord Krishna. So for 1 year, they serve their children. They love their children as the same love as they have towards Lord Krishna. And the teenage gopis, some of them, they fulfilled their desires to have Lord Krishna as their husbands, as their husband. So Yes, that is fulfilled. And the cows, you must have seen this picture of the cows being fed or have pastured in Govardhan Hill, and then the elderly gopas, they're trying to control the cows, because the cows now they want to reach the calves. They want to feed their calves, unknowingly that actually these are all also expansions of Lord Krishna. So the cows' desire to feed Krishna with their unlimited milk has been fulfilled. And mostly Lord Brahma, now he understood that whatever opulence, whatever power that I had is nothing compared to Lord Krishna. He soon realized that this is all the arrangements of Lord Krishna. Even though he's just a mere young boy, he can understand that I cannot compete with this boy. He is beyond my power. And therefore, the 14th chapter of the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam is about the prayers of Lord Brahma towards Lord Krishna. This is it's very amazing pastimes of the Supreme Lord. It's so relishable, it's so sweet. Because I gave the class the other day in Punjabi Bag, so it's still fresh in my mind how this whole picture of Lord Brahma, he is always forgetful. This is the nature of the jivas. Even though he is the topmost jiva, at the dawn of creation, he had darshan of Lord Krishna. He did tapasya. He had darshan of Goloka Vrindavan. But then he forgot immediately. 5,000 years ago, the same Lord Krishna, but he never thought that this is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Lord Brahma, with all of his humility, he prayed that may I take birth as a creeper, as a blade of grass in Vrindavan, or even in the immediate outside boundary of Vrindavan, so that when the Brajavasis, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, when they walk, due to the dust created from their footsteps or their walking, somehow or other, I can get their mercy. Because if this touch him, the creeper or the grass, hopefully he'll get also mercy from the Supreme Lord. So in Vrindavan, there are three types of things that will give you immediate love of God. Giriraj, Govardhan Hill, Yamuna, and Brajaraj, the dust of Vrindavan. So now, it says that as Kali Yuga progresses, Govardhan Hill will disappear, because there's another story. Giriraj is sinking the size of mustard seed every day, due to separation and also due to a curse by one sage or muni. Yamuna also will disappear. Practically right now, before, Yamuna is far and wide and is going like this. We had somehow a fortune to have Snan, the last Ekadasi, Shahi Snan. It was Kumbh Mela in Vrindavan. Every 12 years, there's a Kumbh Mela in Vrindavan. That is the original Kumbh Mela. Now there's a Kumbh Mela also in Haridwar. Yamuna will disappear. And the only thing that will remain is this Brajaraj. So when you come to Vrindavan, usually we've seen devotees, they roll their body, they will lie flat and they will roll, play. And there is a place in Gokul where the dust of Vrindavan is like Johnson baby powder, so fine that even if you throw it in your, somebody throw it in your eyes, you will not go like this. It's so fine. It's mystical. It's spiritual. So somehow, if we're fortunate enough to even take one speck of this dust that has touched Lord Krishna's lotus feet or the original Brajabasis, will also attain love of God. So yes, Vrindavan is such a beautiful place, but we should not, as Prabhupada says, if we come to Vrindavan, don't stay more than 3 days because we may become familiar and we may commit offenses to the Dham, to the Brajabasis. Of course, when Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur came to Vrindavan and he did this parikrama, he says, I don't see any Brajabasis here. Real, original, or real Brajabasis, because it's very rare to find real Brajabasis, also always thinking of Krishna 24 hours a day. So I will stop here now. It's almost time is up, or we went overboard. Not so much. If there's any question or comment, there's so many things to be discussed, but I hope I gave a little bit of description of what is Vrindavan, and that description of Brahma Bimohan Lila gives us a little taste of what is it like 5,000 years ago. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj. We would like to invite the devotees to ask any question or would like to share something.
Any reflections or anything you wish to say regarding what we talk about? This is I'm sorry, just one sec. I'm very impressed. You know what? I've been doing a Zoom talk or outreach, but this is like one of the most participated program that I have encountered in the last since pandemic. And here I can see there is about 52 participants. I'm really impressed. It's too much. It's too much for me. That's why I said once before, I lost my heart in Mauritius.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Seriously, I'm very, very happy to have your association. Is there any other points or any questions? And also before, just one second, before we all part with each other, I wish to see all your lotus faces. Okay, now I can see many are off or now I'm started to see many of you. Jai ho, jai ho, jai. Now because sometimes it's a little bit impersonal. I'm the only one who's speaking and everything is blank or just a picture or whatever. And I always request at the end that I would like to see everyone's happy faces. And sometimes you're probably sleeping while I'm talking. So maybe now you're fully awake. That is good. Is there any questions or any comments?
Yes, Maharaj, we will be inviting the devotees to ask the question. We have first devotees, Rukmini Mohan Prabhu and Chitra Sakhi. For the question, please unmute yourself to ask your question. Or
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept our humble obeisance. Maharaj, you mentioned earlier that Mahamaya is Durga Devi.
Yes, she is the personified Mahamaya.
Is it different from Yogmaya?
No, it's like the same energy, but different function. Prabhupada gave an example, electricity. Electricity works both to an air conditioner and a heater.
Mhm.
You follow?
Yes, Maharaj.
An expert electrician, he can fix a heater. The energy of electrical power flows to that, and he can also fix a cooler, an air conditioner. So it's the same energy, but the function is different.
Okay, Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
That Mahamaya also is Subhadra. That internal potency is when Kamsa, the Yogamaya, was transferred by Vasudev to near the bedside of Devaki. But now when Kamsa found out that this is the eighth child, right?
Yeah.
Kamsa took hold. That's not Yoga Maya anymore because Kamsa cannot touch Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya became Mahamaya. That's
Okay.
right. That's right. And he wanted to smash, but then then she slipped. Thank you. She slipped from the hands of Kamsa. So from Yoga Maya came Mahamaya. Same. Do you understand now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Very
It's
good.
a
And now
little. Yes. Any other points?
Yes, Maharaj. We have a few questions pending. Now we invite our little Vraj from Canada to ask his question.
From
Please
Canada?
unmute yourself, Vraj.
Yes, it's
How can I see? Hold on just a second. How can I see who's asking question? All I've seen now is so many pictures here. Is it from the view or what? Speaker. Okay, now Krishna Kata Das and Hari Kata Devi Dasi. Good.
I am Raj, also known as Paul from Toronto in Canada.
Wow, I used to live in Toronto.
Yes.
Sisi Radha Kirchor Gopinath.
Yes.
Okay, okay. What is the question?
So my question was, what was the intention of Krishna when Brahma took the gopas? Did Krishna wanted Brahma to take the gopas, or was it his energy?
Well, actually, according to the acharyas, Brahma, he thought that he took the gopas, but it is only in his mind. He actually he did not. So the whole, as we mentioned, there are many purposes Krishna performed, fulfilled in these pastimes, because Brahma wanted to see sweet pastimes of the Supreme Lord, because Lord Krishna's pastimes are very sweet. Prabhupada gave an example. Just like sugar candy, you know, cotton candy. You go to some fairs, you know, that pink
Yes.
color, right?
Yes.
It's sweet on the top, sweet in the middle, and it's sweet on the bottom.
Yes.
Right? So Brahma wanted to see the sweet pastimes of Lord Krishna, and he showed it. Lord Krishna showed these pastimes to Lord Brahma. Do you understand?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, okay. You have any points? Any other question?
Now we invite Rasika Chandra Prabhu to kindly ask your question and unmute yourself, please.
Now, who's asking the question now?
Yes, Maharaj. We see that you just
Where
mentioned
are you?
I'm from Mauritius.
I don't see you. Yes.
Yes, Maharaj.
Rasika.
Yes. Hare
Rasika
Krishna,
Chandra.
Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, you mentioned that Subhadra is actually Durga Devi.
Well, she is actually
Yes,
Yogamaya.
she's actually Yoga Maya, not
Again.
Durga Devi.
Yeah, no, she's Yogamaya.
Okay, okay. I thought
She's Yogamaya.
okay.
No, no,
I thought
the
you
same,
said-
again, it's the same, Prabhuji, it's the same energy. It's just expansion. Just like Shrimati Radharani, ultimately, you know what? Durga Devi is expansion of Shrimati Radharani.
Yes.
But we
No,
don't say that Durga Devi is Radharani.
Yes.
It's the energy that we're talking here, the Shakti. The
Yes,
Shakti. All the gopis, all the Lakshmis, these are all expansions of Shrimati Radharani, the internal potency. But Radharani is the pleasure, internal pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. we differentiate, but no, Yogamaya is actually Subhadra, but extension of Subhadra is Mahamaya. Do you understand now?
Yes, ma'am. Now, my question to you was that all the deities which we worship in ISKCON and the Hare Krishna movement.
I'm not able to understand. I'm sorry. You have to speak slowly. There's some problem with your system there.
Okay. I want to say that all the deities we worship in ISKCON is either Radha Krishna or Krishna Balaram most of the time, and Govinda as well. And we have also Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, which we know they are the deity of Kali Yuga. So we have Krishna as Jagannath, we have Balaram as Baladev, and then we have Subhadra Maharani. So we are worshipping these three deities. So my question, I thought Subhadra was Durga Devi. So my question to you was that what is the importance of worshipping Subhadra as Durga Devi?
No, you don't worship. No, you don't worship Subhadra as Durga Devi. Sorry.
Okay.
You don't.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't worship her as Durga Devi.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
We worship her as an internal potency, younger sister of the two brothers.
Yes, ma'am.
We cannot mix Durga Devi with Krishna. There's a different entity. What we're talking about here is that the principle of tattva, the transformation of Yogamaya to be Durga Devi or Mahamaya. So don't think, even when we worship Radha Krishna, Prabhupada says, we are not in that platform to worship Radha Krishna in that original feature of Radha and Krishna. We worship Radha and Krishna in the mood of Lakshmi Narayan, with awe and reverence. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Anything else?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Narayan Prabhu, do you have any question?
Krishna Maharaj, yes, we have like 4 more questions if we have time today.
Oh, they all have raised their hands.
The next one is Avadut Chandra and Vishnupriya. To ask a question, please.
Abadut Chandra Prabhu and Vishnupriya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, you say in the pastime of Krishna that Krishna killed Agasur and Agasur was merged with Krishna.
Right.
That Brahma souls up. You said that Brahma souls up. Okay?
Yes.
My question is, even in watching these things that how Agasur was entering Krishna, even that Brahma, how Brahma get bewildered?
Yogamaya.
Okay.
See, we have to understand the Yogamaya Tattva here. The Yoga Maya, she's there to assist in the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. So Yoga Maya bewilders different personalities to see the real Krishna.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
This. So actually, we're very fortunate. You know why? We're able to understand the different function or the doings of these different energies of the Supreme Lord. We just have to increase our faith. We just have to keep repeating, remembering. That's why you have this Sravanam. Even if you hear the same pastimes, you will not get tired. If this same pastimes repeated to you next week, you say, "Oh, we've heard this from Maharaj already. We want something else." You can read Bhagavad Gita every day. Bhagavad Gita has been heard for millions of years, and now we're still continuing to hear again and again every day. We don't say, "Oh, I want something else." Do you have a better one than Bhagavad Gita? We don't. So that is the importance of Sravanam. The more we hear, the more we purify our consciousness, the more we cleanse our heart, the more we cleanse our mind, and we get closer and closer to Krishna. Is that okay? Hare Krishna. Okay, 3 more raised hands here.
And
Who's
now,
next?
Maharaj, we invite Vishnu Prabhu and Nitya Kishore Radha to ask a question.
All right.
We can't hear you.
Hare Krishna.
We can't hear you.
Maharaj, are we audible, Maharaj? Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
I think, you know why? I think why there's so much participants is because of the lockdown, right? You don't have any other engagements at home. I'm sure you're fully engaged hearing and chanting, but I'm so happy to see you all. Okay, Nitya Kishore, Mataji.
Yes, Maharaj, you mentioned that there are 3 things in Vrindavan which can give us love of Krishna. And
Immediately.
yes,
Immediately.
yes, and one of them is the dust of Vrindavan.
Yes.
So, my question is, I'm speaking from in my own example. At home, we have dust of Vrindavan. We put it on
Yes.
the altar, and every day we take and we put it on our head. But I want to ask you in what attitude, in what prayerful mood should we be while taking the dust of Vrindavan and putting it on our head?
Yes. The Brajabasis or devotees, when they go visit Vrindavan, many places of Lila Stalis, places where the Supreme Lord perform his pastimes, they will pick each and every places. And they feel separation from Vrindavan. So when you have the Brajaraj with you, it's none different than Vrindavan. So they will even take a few specks of them, they will eat them, sometimes they will put into their head. So yes, it's as worshipable. Everything in Vrindavan is as worshipable, especially Brajaraj. So you can pray that somehow or other you'll also attain the supreme abode of Vrindavan. It's like when you go Govardhan Parikrama, you have seen so many stones like put in a different like a house, right? So those who go on Parikrama, they will also construct this stone as if it is their house. So they pray that hope against hope, someday I will attain the supreme abode and I would like to reside near Govardhan Hill. So you can pray like this also, that somehow or other I'm very unqualified, I'm so sinful, I have so much material desires, but by having dust of Vrindavan, somehow you'll able to remind of Krishna and you'll be able to purify yourself. That someday you'll take birth in Vrindavan. In Mathura Mahatmya, it says that if you're always thinking of Vrindavan, you're very far away from Vrindavan. Every day your prayers is that, oh, I wish I am Vrindavan. I wish I reside in Vrindavan. And somehow you're thinking like that and you left your body. So where will you take birth next life? In Vrindavan. Because yam yam bapi smaran babam chajante ante kalevaram. Whatever you're thinking, always, especially at the time of death, that you will attain. You did not reach the Boma Vrindavan, but you will take to the spiritual Vrindavan. Spiritual Vrindavan also in Boma Vrindavan, but Goloka Vrindavan. So by just seeing this, you know what? The demigods, they are waiting to come and touch the Vrajaraj. This Vrajaraj, even one speck of this cannot be compared to the entire wealth of the universe. You may say, oh, look like, oh, this. Others may say, oh, look, this is just dirt. But no, this is the most, this is priceless. Okay?
Yes.
How much do you have? Do you have a big amount of Vrajaraj or?
Small quantity.
Maharaj, if
Okay.
you permit, I would like to ask a question also.
Yes.
Yes, Maharaj, you said that the earthly Vrindavan is non-different from the Goloka Vrindavan.
Yes.
And Maharaj, I've been to Vrindavan only once, and due to my dull mind and ignorance, I have been making, unknowingly have made offenses. Maharaj, my question is, how do we develop the eyes to understand, to see that this earthly Vrindavan is non-different from that Goloka Vrindavan and make less offenses or make no offenses at all? Thank you, Maharaj.
Always remember Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's formula in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Trinadapi sunichena taroriva sahisnana amanena manadena satahari. Learn to develop the proper service attitude towards the Vaisnavas. Not just to senior Vaisnavas or to the Swamis or to the Gurus, but also to the newcomers. You serve them also. It is by serving the devotees that you'll be able to develop the proper attitude in developing love of God. It starts with that because what it says, I am in the hearts of my devotees, and in the devotee's heart, I'm also present. So when you serve the devotees of the Lord, you become dearer and closer to Krishna. So with that proper humility and attitude, Krishna will become sold out because of your service attitude. That's why it says that Bhakti is sometimes greater than Krishna, because that is the only way how we can purchase Krishna. Well, the purchase is wrong word, but that's how we'll be able to get the attention of Lord Krishna. And especially by chanting the holy name of the Lord sincerely without any offenses. Okay?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And now
Okay.
we have Vishnu Hari Prabhu.
Vishnu Hari. Is Gauranga there?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, no, playing.
Yudhisthira? No?
No.
Nice to see you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Maharaj. Nice to see you also, Maharaj.
We're missing Mauritius.
I'm missing your association so much.
Yes.
Actually,
Someday.
my question has been answered through all the devotees have asked, but still I have one more question.
Mm-mm.
I wanted to ask Maharaj that you say that we should not live for too long in Vrindavan.
Yes.
So what is the mood that we should create for us to, like, if we aspire to visit Vrindavan, what is the mood we should have?
Okay. First of all, to come to Brindavan, it is not that you purchase a ticket, Emirates or Air India, and then you go to Brindavan. To enter Brindavan, you need the permission and mercy from Guru Maharaj, the spiritual master. You need a guide to enter Brindavan. Because to enter Brindavan, you need the mercy of Srimati Radharani. You need the permission of Lord Shiva. He is Digpal. He is the protector of the holy Dham. And the mood should be always in the service mood, not in the enjoying mood. We don't go to Brindavan like tourists who just want to like go sightseeing. You know, we have to really be careful being in Brindavan because there is a tendency to become familiar. This place is not of this world. So we have to have with the vision from the Shastra Chakshu, and also especially we need a guide in Vrindavan. That means we need someone who tells us what to do, what not to do, and especially service attitude is needed, not the enjoying mood. Because the offenses committed in the Dham is multiplied 1,000 times. It's like chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the holy Dham or any service done without any agenda, personal agenda, without any self-interest, it is multiplied 1,000 times also. If it's the same service done in Mauritius, this is the potency of the holy Dham. But if you commit offenses in the holy Dham, it's 1,000 times also. You commit the same offense in Mauritius, it's not. It's multiplied so much. So the proper mood is we should be always in the service mood to serve the Vaishnavas, to serve our Guru, to serve Srila Prabhupada, to serve the deities, to serve the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Is that okay?
Thank you, Maharaj.
I'm sure you have the same mood in Mauritius, wherever you go, but because see the deities, your deities are there. You're worshiping Gornitai, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, your Govardhan Shila, your Salagram Shila. So the devotees, for them, wherever they go, it is Vrindavan. We should not think, oh, I'm in Mauritius, so I should be not too careful. No, we should have the same mood. Whatever mood you have in Mauritius, it is carried to Vrindavan when you go to Vrindavan. So we should not be also in an enjoying mood, like the materialist. Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur gave an explanation of what is a materialist. A materialist means one who wants to enjoy the material energy to the highest degree. That is a materialist. But a devotee, he wants to serve anywhere, everywhere, wherever he goes, the Supreme Lord and his devotees. So we should be always in this mood. Prepare ourselves so that when we come to Vrindavan, it's natural, it's normal. You want to stay longer in Vrindavan? Don't be in the enjoying mood. Always in the mood of service. Then you'll be able to last. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you. Thank you.
And now we have His Grace Narayan Prabhu to
Narayan Prabhu Ji.
Can you unmute yourself, Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please
Hare
accept my
Ram.
obeisances. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you
my
all.
question is, I'm okay, Maharaj.
Good, good.
My question is, in Gokul Vrindavan, Krishna has been killing so many demons.
Yeah.
But in the original Vrindavan, there is no demons there. Can you
Right.
clarify this point?
Well, according to the Acharyas, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, these demons actually are our anarthas. In the spiritual world, there is no anarthas. So when you hear these killings of demons, you become purified. And there is what do you got? The fruits. It's like in some places in the Bhagavatam, if you read this section, it says that if you read this section of Brahma Bimohan Lila, you will attain love for Govinda. Okay, so when these different killings of demons, like Putana, he exemplifies the pseudo gurus, those pretender gurus. There are demons that has been killed by Lord Krishna, and there are demons that's been killed by Lord Balaram. So each and every one of this, there's about 22 or 23 demons mentioned in the Shrimad Bhagavatam, and this represents different anarthas that when we read them, it helps us to purify us and get rid of these demons. Okay, in our hearts. Actually, these demons is in within our hearts. So that's why Prabhupada, you know, for him, there's no difference. He always wanted to hear about a Krishna book reading every night. So whenever he hears these different demons being killed by Krishna, he feels so happy. He feels very blissful. So we should be like this also. Oh, this is a killing of demon. I don't like this part. Let me go to Rasa Lila. You will not be able to understand, will not be able to fully realize what is this Rasa Lila dance. And Rasa Lila dance is not being discussed openly in public. So yes, we should read every night and every day, if it's possible, Krishna book. Prabhupada says we should read Krishna book every day so that when we sleep, we will dream of Krishna. Okay?
Thanks, Maharaj.
There's more explanation to this. I believe His Holiness Bhakti Chaitanya Swami, he wrote a book about this, killing of the demons of Vrindavan.
And now we have Vinugita Mataji has a last question.
Yes.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Hare Krishna to all the devotees. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Very well.
Okay.
And
okay, Maharaj. So I had a simple question. So why is such that the demigods, knowing that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, instead of surrendering or being humble to the Lord, they would challenge. Sorry?
Slowly? There is like a feedback when you speak. I think it is your internet.
I repeat.
My connection is not so stable.
Right. So my question is, why is such that the demigods, knowing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, despite being humble or surrendering to them, setting example to us, they would challenge the Lord, like the example, the Govardhan pastime, Lord Indra, and we had also Brahmadev who challenged Lord Krishna. So just clarification. Thank you. Is it okay?
I think Maharaj has some connection problem.
Okay.
Is he here? Yes, Maharaj, you have to unmute yourself. You're on mute.
I'm unmuting now. Go ahead.
Yes, Venu, your question.
Do I have to repeat the question again?
Yes, because I did not hear you.
Okay.
Sorry. Is this
No
the
worries.
last question now? This must be the last question, okay?
Yes, this is the last question, Maharaj.
All right.
Okay. Yes, my question
Slowly,
was
slowly.
that, yes, is that okay? Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so my question was that the demigods know that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead. Instead, setting to us the example being surrendered or being humble, but they challenge the Lord. Like we had the pastime for Govardhan Puja, where Indra Dev, and we also had Brahma Dev, and maybe we have other demigods who took the challenge to the Lord. So just to have a clarification on that. Thank you.
See, again, Yoga Maya plays the tricks on them. Next time they know Lord Krishna is God, the next time they forget Krishna is God. Like I gave you an example of Lord Brahma. He had realization of Lord Krishna at the dawn of creation. That's why he offered these hymns, the Brahma Samhita. So immediately he forgot 5,000 years ago. For him, this time element calculation is very, very short. For us, it's a lot. So yes, like King Indra, he thought this boy is just a boy, Krishna. But then he got tricked again. He sent these different torrents of brains and everything. So yeah, they're put into illusion so that it'll give us a lesson also for the ones who will read the Srimad Bhagavatam. I don't know if I answer your question. Yes. Am I able to? Oh, unmute yourself. Hare Krishna. Unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
Yes, Maharaj, it's okay. Yeah, thank you.
My throat is, I have a cold actually. I'm so sorry. I'm just recovering.
You do take care, Maharaj.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Maharaj. So on behalf of ISKCON Mauritius and Preaching is Ascent, we would like to thank you for your participation in our online Sravanam festival, despite being contacted at the last moment. And you indeed took us to Vrindavan in this lockdown in Mauritius. And we would like to thank our dearest participants to have been connected with us on week 1 of the online Sravanam festival. And we are looking forward to have you in the coming session next week, week 2. We will be having devotees from the UK, from the Bhaktivedanta Manor. We will have His Grace Yadubar Prabhu and Her Grace Vishaka Mataji, which will join us. And from Scone, London, we will have His Grace Janitai Prabhu and Her Grace Bhava Bhakti Mataji, who will be with us in our forthcoming session. So stay connected for more detail on the online Sravanam festival, right?
Yeah.
And now, dearest devotees, to show our gratitude for Maharaj for this wonderful and blissful class and for taking us in Vrindavan, we invite you all devotees to call out 3 times very loudly, Hare Bol.
Hare Bol. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Thank you,
Vansakalpatarubhyascha kipasindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namo.
Jai.
Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
And see you all next weekend for our online Sravanam festival week 2. Hare Krishna.